So from worksheet 2, looking at number 9, 2.5 comma 17 pi over 4. So that's an r and a theta, and we'd like to turn that into an x and a y. And we know that x is r cosine theta and y is r sine theta. By the way, today's lesson, it's the same. We're going to use it differently, but it's the same equations. So in some ways, today is like a half lesson. It's like, here's the equations we already know. Let's use them a little bit differently. All right, but 17 pi over 4, that's kind of weird. That doesn't feel like a unit circle value. Well, I mean, it kind of does because it's over 4. But 17 over 4 is really big. So what could I do to get that back to a coterminal angle that lands in the same spot? That's kind of repetitive. Coterminal means land in the same spot. Abby?
Subtract 16 pi.
Subtract 16 pi or 16 pi over 4?
Over 4.
Yeah. Yes, that kind of jumped ahead of what I wanted to say, but you're right. We could subtract 16 pi over 4. Really, we're subtracting 2 pi as many times as we need to.
And that's 16.
It ends up being 16 pi over 4. Generally speaking, though, we'll subtract 2 pi until we have an answer we like. 9 pi over 4, that's still too big. Subtract 2 pi again. We'll get is pi over 4. Which, yes, that means we subtracted 16 pi over 4. So x equals 2.5 cosine pi over 4. So that's 2.5 root 2 over 2. That looks a little bit weird, but that's okay. We don't have to bother fixing that. Let's just leave it as 2.5 root 2 over 2. Y equals 2.5 sine pi over 4, which is also 2.5 root 2 over 2. And I guess we should write it as an xy coordinate. So 2.5 root 2 over 2, comma, 2.5 root 2 over 2. So number 9 is a good one because it had that angle in there that was bigger than we like. So we had to adjust and get an angle that was between 0 and 2 pi.
Would it still work if you put in 17 pi over 4?
Mm-hmm.
Because I got 1.768.
Okay, so the question was, will it still work if you use 17 pi over 4? Yes, it will, but I want an exact answer. So if you just type it in the calculator, you're going to get whatever the decimal is. Other questions from worksheet 2? Do you feel like that was the main tricky one? Were you okay with angles in degrees like number 7 and number 3 and number 4? You hadn't forgot how to deal with degrees now that you're radian experts? Good with 7 and 3 and 4? All right, and we'll move on to today's stuff.